one of the things that this recap touched on is the conversation that Kim had with Khloe, where Kim voiced her frustrations over Khloe's tone. What did you think about that scene?
Well, first of all, they've been hyping this whole scene up. We saw it on the trailers, we saw it on Instagram. It was a fake fight. Like you could tell Kim was acting because she's in her acting era. But the fight is dumb.
Mhm.
This is about what? Shy's hair? Kim is just upset because she can't be like Khloe. Who would have thought I would say something like that? So first she's mad that Khloe is kind of like a helicopter mom or all about her kids.
Mhm.
And then at the same time, she's criticizing her because she's that way. I think she just can't have it both ways. She's like, if I were to do it all over again, I would be a strict parent just like Khloe. But yet you're here criticizing your sister
Mhm.
for something you admire about her or want to do yourself. So I think she's just a little jealous. What do you think?
I think it's probably a I think it is jealousy, but I think it's jealousy in two different ways. Like
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you said, for sure, I agree. Um, but I also think that there's a jealousy that could be just like her projecting onto, Khloe, and even back in the day onto Courtney. Um, because you remember the whole Christmas, the reason we have, I think, the least interesting to look at situation,
The
that whole
Christmas
scene.
cards.
Right, it was the Christmas cards, and they were like dogging Courtney, both Khloe and Kim, because Courtney wanted to spend time with her family versus being doing glam or whatever. And so now here we are where Khloe is devoting her time to her kids, rightfully so. And Kim is now coming after her because Kim wants her sisters to all have that same work ethic that she's bragged about forever. I want to say it was in the last episode, she talked about how, in a confessional, how like her happy place is working, she loves doing a whole bunch of things and having so much going on. Why can't people just like leave her alone, or why can't people just understand that? But then she's doing the complete opposite to Khloe. Khloe has repeatedly told everybody, this is my happy place, being at home with my kids, being a mom, just here. This is what I like. Why can't I just be left alone? So Kim is doing that to her. But I think it's also that, and so the internet, the internet always has their thoughts. There's a theory that I've kind of come across a couple times where people think that Kim didn't really want to be a mom, and that maybe she's just jealous that it's worked out for her sisters and it really didn't for her. And that really what she wants to do is just to be working, continue with being relevant versus actually, being there with the kids, and that her being so yes mom, as far as with the kids, is not necessarily because she like feels guilty that she's not more strict, but it's just a way to kind of just be like, okay, here, get out of my way, kind of thing. Now this is all just internet theories, this is, not anything obviously proven or fact, but if she's putting on an act, she's got to be a great actress then, because it's really easy to believe that this isn't what she would have wanted for herself. I don't know, it just doesn't, I don't get that feeling from her. And I think that there is a level of jealousy when it comes to her sisters because they seem to excel at being moms, and that's just not something that, I don't know, she seems to really care to do so much.
Well, it's all about priorities. So Courtney, I don't know what she's into Travis and her new baby.
Yeah.
Chloe, understandably so, she has gone through X, Y, and Z with Trish Trash.
Mhm.
So she just doesn't feel like being outside. Like she said, she wants to be with her kids. Kim, she just chooses to want to work. She can choose to not work and spend all the time with her kids, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to stay relevant, like J Lo. So it's a matter of choices. She can make the choice. She's already a billionaire. She doesn't need to work.
Mhm.
But, I don't think that she can come to terms with that she's aging, which is not bad. But she wants to stay relevant. She doesn't want to pass on the torch.
No. And it's just like, it just feels like a very fake sort of fight, right?
Hmm.
Like what are we really doing here? You're
Yeah.
mad. You're mad because your sister did your job for you and isn't asking anything in return for it.
Hmm.
Like, and then I have like a thing too where it's like, oh, it's your tone, whatever. That's a matter of perception. That's a you problem, not a her problem. Like you're perceiving that she's telling you something in some way, and that's just you and your insecurities about how you feel that are coming out. Like I can believe that Chloe can have a tone, yeah, because the girl can have an attitude sometimes. But I think ultimately we've seen throughout all of this stuff that Chloe likes being a mom. She loves being a mom. She loves being an auntie. Like she's good with all of that. And I don't feel like she would be the type to like say, "Oh, you're a bad mom," or give any kind of a tone of like you're being a bad mom or anything like that. So that's why I kind of felt like that whole scene, I was like, this is dumb. Like, what are you really arguing about here? And like the whole time I was honestly getting distracted because Saint was in the background. And I was just like, oh hey, there he is. Like that's what I was really looking at. Cause otherwise it just felt silly. But
But Chloe did take shots at Kim in the confessional, saying, well, subliminally. She was
yeah.
like, well, my kids, they're not going to remember if mom was at work. They're basically going to remember that mom is here all the time and we're sharing these experiences. Basically, everything Courtney has said in the past, Chloe is not saying, but she's kind of taking shots at her sister.
But is she lying though?
I don't think she's lying. Kim is always working. I don't see her with her kids, but then again, I'm not her next door neighbor.
One of the things in that same confessional that you're talking about that I think hit really hard, even though I'm not a parent, like what she said about her kids will one day choose their friends over her. They'll choose spending time with their friends over her, and so she wants to cherish this time. Like I felt that, and it's like because I have nephews and I can see like from the age they're like age range of like 6 to 15 I think. And the little ones are perfectly fine hanging out with me and doing stuff with me. The two oldest ones are just like silent. Like they'd rather be doing everything else in the world versus being with grown-ups. And so it's like I can only imagine how a parent must feel when things get to that point. So I can see how Chloe would definitely understand that it's better to go ahead and enjoy this time because she has the privilege to be able to do that, which a lot of parents don't. And, versus like Kim doing these like random, oh, I'm gonna take North on a trip, or I'm gonna take Saint on a soccer trip. Like, okay, I'm dedicating this time to you, and like that should suffice, kind of thing. Um, I don't know. It just kind of seems like to me most of it is just it's such a silly like thing to really like beef about, you know. Um, but anyway, it was definitely I think a weird scene.
But when we do see Kim do these activities, I don't know if that was the last season of the Kardashians where she was taking North somewhere and Saint somewhere. So specifically talking, let's say like the football games or the
Hmm.
soccer games. And then they would travel to, I don't know, tell me a team right now, Barcelona or something.
Paris. Yeah.
Oh, Paris Saint Germain. So they
Hmm.
were over there at PSG. It's a whole production. It's
Hmm.
not really about the kids. It's her still staying relevant and be like Kim Kardashian, footballer, like football mom.
Yeah.
So and then meeting who did they meet? Did they
They
meet Ronaldo?
No, they met Neymar via like FaceTime, I think it was, and then a couple other players.
Who's the one that just got to the other team to Real Madrid? Was it? I'm drawing a blank.
Right, recently?
One of the I'll think of
Oh,
the
you mean
name.
Mbappe?
Mbappe, there you go.
Brilliant.
Whatever team he went to.
He was
So
yeah, he's going to Real Madrid.
so it's always about the production of it all. And Courtney even said, you don't have to do all these crazy things. Like you could just go to dinner, have a tea, drink some tea, a tea party or whatever. But
Yeah.
Kim, she has to do things big. She has to do things bigger than her sister. She has to do things that are still in the spotlight. It's like, hey, I'm a mom, but I'm a cool mom. But you still look at me.
No,
Meanwhile, the kids are like flicking off the the paparazzi and
yeah.
giving side eyes like North did to Malika. So
Yep.
there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think like it's such a contradictory thing because you see Chloe post her nightly routine with the kids is just them having dance parties in the kitchen and they have the time of their lives. Like it's just very small, simple things and I think that Kim like doesn't seem to know how to do that or at least this is her way of trying to do these things. And it's sad because you look at Kanye, the other parent, and how he doesn't seem to be as present either and his way of also showing love and affection is also keeping himself relevant by bringing North onto his album and then on stage and it's just kind of like how about just taking your kids to the park like what happened to a album what I'm confused so that's kind of like I feel bad for those kids not really thinking about it because man
I
those
just love the way Chloe like dresses True. You know,
yeah,
y'all parents can dress y'all kids how y'all want, but True dresses her age. Like if
yeah.
we look at kid, and I don't mean to criticize kids, guys, but I feel like just Kim's kids are growing up so fast. Like if we take North for example, she's already acting, and we could say the same thing about Blue Ivy, but that's another story. But she's acting, she's in these grown-up scenarios with her dad and people are cursing. It's just even like her clothing, her demeanor, it's just so grown up. So I don't know, it's just weird. But to each their own.
I think you should just let kids be kids at the end of the day, like
There's a
and they have
time and a place.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like they have such a large family. Like they have built-in friends, right? With their little cousins. They all live close to each other. Like just let them like,
Mhm.
be kids running around doing silly stuff. That's what I think that's what they enjoy. And those are the kind of like memories that kind of help you as you get older, right? Because you need to have certain social skills. You learn those playing in the playground, you learn those at recess, doing these kind of things, not going to meet, soccer superstars.
But guys, that concludes today's episode. Please let us know in the comments what you think. What do we think about this fake fight between him and Chloe? Are we buying it? Are we over it? Are we over them? I don't know. But like I said, that concludes today's episode. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share a video. We're trying to grow our community so your friends can be our friends so we can all be friends. We also have social media, which Steve will tell you about.
We're on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys like, follow, share, and comment. You can also listen to the videos in podcast format via Spotify and YouTube Music.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye bye.